under whom we grew, and they sponsored me all through. And of course, the rest of my elder brothers who were a lot older than me and had found little jobs after secondary school, they were prepared to share the little they had with me. So it was like moving from one place to the other. Number one. Number two, I myself, young and small as I was during holidays, and at the time when we were looking for jobs, I didn't care what kind of job I did. At one point I was selling in a bar, and I remember we would stay there until the last drunkards left, and then it would be too late to go back home. At that time I was in Boya. It would be really cold in the rainy season and wet, so I would spend the time there in the bar till morning, sleeping on a chair. But I wasn't deterred by that, because I knew that I had a focus about my life, and I was moving towards it. I knew it would take long to arrive at the point I wanted to be. But I was sure that as long as I kept moving on one step after the other on the same track, looking forward to, by God's grace, I would arrive there.
As a primary school kid, did you really have a particular focus, like I wanted to become a doctor?
Yes, but it was interesting. As a primary school kid growing up in the village, I saw people like forest guards exercising a lot of power. They would come and confiscate all your timber, all your wood. And then I said, I liked their power they wielded, and I would grow up, I would tell people that I would grow up and become a forest guard. And when I started coming to the city, I saw policemen moving around. So it was always in that area. But later on, as I grew older in school, I remember my teachers kept telling me that you're made up of stuff greater than that, and you could become a lot higher than that. And when I was growing up, one of my elder brothers, my eldest brother, who became like our father then, he taught me something to memorize, which I kept till today. And I told my children that he said the heights by which great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flights, but they, while their companions slept, they kept on toiling upwards through the night. And my eldest brother was a good artist, so he drew this picture of a gentleman who kept toiling, trying to climb up the mountain, while others were deep asleep. And that explained what he had told us, that the heights by which great men reach and keep are not attained by sudden flight. So while people are sleeping, these people kept going on gradually, slowly, steadily up the mountain. And that encouraged me from childhood never to bemoan or to be defeated.
But did you have, as a primary school kid, did you have role models or mentors?
Yes, of course. The big boys who played football very well, they were my role models. The big girls who cooked very well, and those who sang very well in the choir. But I think that my eldest brother, my eldest sister, and her husband were the first role models I had as a child, because I saw in them kindness, I saw in them the fear of God, I saw in them generosity and the capacity and willingness to share the little with which they had. And I saw them people who were studious, who they were grade 2 teachers at the time, and they came home with a lot of books from Nigeria. And I thought, this is what I would like to grow up to be, somebody who would be useful to the community, who would use the little that he has for the benefit of as many as possible, and who would spend time reading rather than roaming around and just being rascally in the community.
So, Daddy, can you tell us something about your religious life as a primary school kid?
Well, yes, because, like I say, my elder sister with whom I lived and her husband were very, very strong church people. So, as a child, right from the infants. My elder sister, I knew as a Sunday school teacher. And until she died, and despite all the higher grades she attained, she spent all her time in the junior department of the primary school trying to mold young children, give them a solid foundation. So that helped me a lot in my religious life. I became a Christian. First of all, I was baptized as a baby. So I was growing up, and my elder sister started imbibing the nurturing me in the Christian faith, and her husband was a prominent lay preacher in our congregations. And then the more I grew up, I realized that that was the road the whole family had taken. My eldest brother, whom I always referred to, was already a choir master everywhere he went.